Well, I hope it's at least bright enough. You can see me clearly. It is how to craft your parenting constitution, your family constitution, sorry. And I'll just go right into it because time has gone already. So, this is what we do in the Visionary Parent Academy. What we are doing this month is we are crafting our family framework, our family constitution, and our structure, our family structure. It's a month of organization, a month where we get to put our family, organize our family so that things work better for us. When we talk about organizational skills, things being organized, it's easy for you to just know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and all of that. So, what we do what we are doing this month is trying to organize our family in such a manner that everything is ordered, everything is structured. We have a plan, we know exactly what we are doing. So if you are seeing me for the first time, if you are not a member of the Visionary Parent Academy, my name is Enimie Orebo and I'm the lead coach of Visionary Parent Academy, an academy where parents come together, parents who have visions, who are passionate about achieving their visions, come together to achieve their visions. They get empowered, they get motivated, they get daily activities to help them achieve their vision. So you want to definitely join us in the academy. So today is all about our family constitution. Like I said, this month is about organizing our family. And at the beginning of this month, we started with crafting our parenting framework. Yes, I know that if you are a member of the academy, by now you already have your parenting framework crafted. Even if you are not a member of the academy, last week we came live here and we taught you about your parenting framework, what it means and how to go about it. So whether you're in the academy or not, I hope that you took action. Like I always say, action is where the result is. You take action, you get result. You don't take action, you are not going to get any result. So today is how to craft your family constitution, and next week we are going to be looking at structure at the end of the day. So I do hope that you are also going to come here next week. Let's craft our parenting structure together with your framework. Yes, it's like the foundation. With your constitution and your structure, you will definitely know what you are doing. Your parenting will be a lot easier for you. So let's go into what we have today: crafting our parenting constitution. What is a constitution? Let's start with what a constitution is. So before I continue, I have actually we have a material in the academy. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Sorry, please. Shortly. Okay, we have a material in the academy. Is our family constitution. So I had to print mine. It's that important. It's that helpful. It's that effective. It's that useful. I have to print mine. So every member of the academy has this constitution already. So today we are basically going to talk about all about it, how to use it, how to craft your own. So let's go into what is a family constitution. What is a constitution? We know that about countries. Oh, Nigeria constitution is a document that defines everybody's rights. Your right as a citizen. People say my constitutional rights. Your right as a citizens, your rights, your boundaries, your responsibilities, and everything. And the constitution is binding, is a legal document. The same thing happens in a family. A family constitution contains the rights, the privileges, the rules, the regulations guiding a family. Everybody is subject to the constitution. When you have a family constitution, everybody is subject to it. Everybody's rights, everybody's privileges. Now, these rights, these rules, these regulations, they don't fall from the sky. They align with your vision. I remember one time someone got the constitution, I think the other year. She said, this constitution is pretty rigid. I said, well, it is because of my values, because of my vision, what I want. So what I want may not be what you want. So your constitution has to be based on what you want. Let's look at countries. Countries' constitutions are not the same. The constitution in my country is not the same as the constitution in your country. In some countries, there are laws that, okay, for adult age in some countries you have 16, but in my country it is 18. So your constitution has to first of all reflect your vision, your values, your goals. Now this is why we started this community this year, by creating our vision. The very first thing you want to do, I can't overemphasize this, is your vision. If you don't have a vision, you are just going to go out, pick random advice on social media, on the streets, and you are going to apply, going to get more confused. So the first thing you want to do is to have a vision. So let's go into the constitution. I have defined what the constitution is, and I've told you what the constitution is expected to cover. So now I don't think there's a need for me to actually, okay, let me give a bit background where how I got inspired to even create a family constitution. Before I created a family constitution, I had not seen anything or heard anything about family constitution anywhere. No. Maybe it's out now, we have a lot of materials on it now, I don't know. But when I wanted to write my family constitution, I had not seen or heard anything about it anywhere. Something happened one time in my house. My daughter, she was much younger. I don't remember how old she was then. She had a little chore she was doing that were quite age appropriate. Then I had my younger child, who is now 7 also. He was too young to do things around the house. Of course, he could eat, he could play, he could watch TV, and he could snack and all of that. So one day my daughter came to me and said, "Mommy," okay, and my husband too was not such a hands-on when it comes to domestic affairs. So one day we were doing laundry outside, my daughter and my son and myself, they were just doing the bits. And my daughter came to me and said, "Mommy, how come the oldest person in this house and the youngest person in this house, they don't do chores around the house? They just sit down in the house, and then only the 3 of us do all the chores." By the oldest person, she was talking about her dad, and by the youngest person, she was talking to my last one, who was just a toddler. So he actually got to me that. So I asked her, "When did you even start doing chore? When you were my baby's age, were you doing chore?" She said no. So actually got to me that, hey, I need to put a document on ground. I need to make something clear. We need to have defined boundaries, rules, regulations, rights, privileges. We need to have all these things spelled out. Otherwise, she may feel maybe the younger child is treated with a preference. She may just feel that way. And once these children have this thought in their head, they may grow with it. It becomes something that shapes their mind. They just feel that, oh, my mom likes X more than me. They don't realize that, no, it's not because of liking X more than you. It's an age factor, or there are other factors. So that was why I decided to create a family constitution. I went researching and all of that. I didn't really get anything. So I had to go again into what is obtainable in my family. What is obtainable? That is why I keep telling people that you can't use my own. You have to create yours. It's just a guide for you to create yours. Like what we have in the academy, mine is a guide for you to create yours. Fortunately, if my vision and your visions are the same, you can use it. Go ahead. If my vision and your visions are not the same, then just let it guide you and to create yours. Okay. When you have a constitution, everyone knows what is expected of them. They know their responsibilities, and everyone is accountable in the home, and it becomes easy. The purpose of the family constitution is to have a working tool that enhances structure in the family. A family constitution is a clear communication of individuals' rights, roles, boundaries in the family. The idea is to have every family member on the same page. Let's look at some of the importance of family constitution. Spells, behaviors, and expectations. Note this down. If you're in the Visionary Parents Academy, you already have this document. Like I told you, I printed my own. You can see my own is old. I printed this immediately. I crafted it. That was years ago. And like I told you, okay, you can see the back. You can see we've been using it. We've not used it for a long time. I just brought it out again because we moved places, and I realized that my kids are fast learning a lot of things in this place. Some of the things they actually were no longer some of the things I didn't have to complain about, so we didn't have to refer to the constitution again. Because one thing about the constitution is, once you begin to use it, if you make it sacrosanct, if you are committed to it, like what's the word now we are consistent, that's the word I'm looking for. If you are consistent, you just realize that They will naturally flow into it. Look at a country like a civilized country, a typical civilized country, for example. They know their speed limit when they drive. They know where to park and where not to park. They know how to act. Why? Because they know that, hey, when they act, when they disobey, when they break the rules or something, they are going to go in for it. They know that it's not negotiable. So because they know that, they always just behave. So it's almost like a second nature to them to do certain things. But given a situation, given a country like Nigeria where anything kind of goes, those same people, they may come to Nigeria and struggle, and as soon as they realize anything goes, they just adjust back. So once you are consistent with your constitution, I tell you, you are not going to use it for long before your children fall into place. Now, structure we are talking about next week will help you build a system that is consistent. Your structure is designed to build a system that is consistent. So I was talking about, it spells out expected behaviors. Everyone knows what they are supposed to do, how they are supposed to behave. That is your constitution. Another thing is it communicates consequences, thereby removing the occurrence of a spontaneous reaction. Absolutely. If you are a parent who are always very spontaneous, let me give you a typical example. This evening, my son is on a consequence. The consequence is the one actually shared in the communication rules. The one I shared in the Visionary Academy the other day, the one I wrote away from here, he's on that consequence this evening. So now they know that every time they don't follow the communication rules, what are the communication rules? Just the certain rules that the way we want to communicate with each other. No sarcasm, no rolling of eyes, no hitting, no yelling, just basic rules that will help them to be polite. So we have a consequence for it. Like I always say, consequence doesn't always have to be smacking, flogging, and all of that. No, the purpose of consequence is to modify behavior. The purpose of consequence is to empower them with skills. The purpose of consequence is to actually teach the child what they do not know. So when you have your constitution, you remove that spontaneity. For example, your child does something, you are hitting. No, you already have a laid down rule and regulation. You already have it there. So all you need to do is just refer your child to it. Refer your child to section 1, 2, 3 of the constitution and go and face the constitution. If you can do the crime, of course you can face the fine or face the time. Yes, that is it. Constitution. It protects the rights of children as they can speak up easily. Yes, they can speak up easily because if their rights are already spelled out in the constitution, they know their rights, they know their privileges in the constitution, they know rules that govern the constitution. They can speak up for themselves. They can say, oh mommy, the constitution does not say so. I remember my daughter says this all the time to me, that no, we were not told to do this. No, we're not told not to do this. You haven't told us not to do this. So you haven't forewarned us about this. That's because there's a constitution, something that guides them. So anything not in the constitution, we have to come back and review it. That's one thing about constitution. It limits abuse of children, especially if parents are committed to the constitution. Yes, that is true. Because that spontaneous hitting, smacking, and yelling is no longer there. When parents are committed to the constitution, then there's every likelihood that as a parent, you are not going to abuse your child. You are just going to refer them to the constitution. Like I said, the consequences in the constitution are meant to empower the child. That is it about the constitution. Then it serves as behavior guide for children. Of course, it gives guidelines to conflict resolution. We all know that in families that conflict is another thing. Of course, we have communication rules in my family, for example, because children must bicker, they must fight. You can't take that away. By fight, I don't mean going physical. No, I mean they must disagree. They must bicker, they must disagree. All that they must do it. So communication, family constitution actually spells out how they should resolve their conflict at the end of the day. Elements of an effective family constitution. Everyone must be carried along when writing the constitution. That is it. everyone must be carried along when writing the constitution. You cannot go and write a constitution at the back and come and give it to your spouse. No. If you have children who are teenagers already, who are grown, who can take decisions for themselves, you don't behind them and create a constitution and subject them to it. No, that won't be fair. That is why we have to third majority and all of that in the house. So everyone must be present at home to create the constitution. The constitution must be written in a language that every member of the family understand. Of course, there's no ambiguity. There's nothing like ambiguity. That is not clear enough. You don't need to bring someone to come and interpret the constitution. Excuse you, that is why it has to be written like, if you say the time to come back home every day is 7 p.m. You can't say return home in the evening. You can't say return home before night. It's not clear. Before night, or you say return home before bedtime. So if you say return home before bedtime, what time is bedtime? Your teenager may say, okay, your bedtime is 8 p.m. My bedtime is 10 p.m. You say return home before bedtime. I'm returning home at 10 p.m. and it's my bedtime. So no, it must be clear. Return home at 8 p.m. So the language of your constitution must be clear. The rights of every family member must be captured in the constitution. The rights of every family members must be captured in the constitution. The father's right, the mother's right, the children's right must be captured in your constitution, because it is a family constitution. Therefore, everybody's interest must be represented. It must be free and fair to everyone. Of course, it has to be free. If it's not free, what is the essence? Nah, that is why everyone must be part of it. And it is family decision. It's not just you, the parents, making the decision, or the children just making the decision. No, everyone must be part of the making of the family constitution, and it must be fair to everyone. The constitution must be sustainable. Yes, it must be sustainable. Something you can do. You can give a consequence that you can do. You make family traditions that you can carry out, not just a one-off, not just something you say today and tomorrow you are not able to do it. You are not consistent. Once you are not consistent, the purpose of the constitution is defeated. Once you are not consistent, the time you spend creating it is a waste. The money you spend printing it, if you are printing it like mine, it is a waste. Even your mental energy you put into it is a total waste. It must be sustainable. Lastly, everyone is subject to the constitution. Everyone is subject to the constitution. When I talked about everyone subject to the constitution one time, somebody said to me, okay, if you say bedtime is 8 p.m., what are parents that work late? How can they meet bedtime at 8 p.m.? Aha, I know you have such a question too. Now here's the thing. Now this is why in the constitution we have different privileges, rights. For example, you can say bedtime for children between 16 and below is 8 p.m. and you give your reason. Bedtime from adults is 10 p.m. You give your reason. You know why? Because those are working late. So at the end of the day, let me go back to my daughter's example. At the end of the day, when I created my constitution, I told her that, okay, when it comes to dishes, nobody does dishes in this house until you are 6. From 6 years old, you assist the person doing dishes. And from 7-year-old, I think from 5 years old, you assist in the kitchen. And from 4 years, you assist in the kitchen. Then from 6 years old, you take the responsibility of doing dishes. So that actually removed that. So she didn't bother to say, okay, why is this boy not doing dishes again? That is it. So that is how you craft your family constitution. So like I said, you must have a vision. You must have a vision. Your constitution must, you must have a vision that you are even writing. Your constitution is a document that will help you achieve your vision. So you must have a vision. It is important that you have a vision. You have a mission statement. That's what I have in a family constitution in the academy. You are going to find this. You have a vision, you have a mission. I don't know if you can see it. The light is not bright enough. I'm just using my ring light. If I put on my alternative source of light, the noise here, you ain't going to hear anything. So you must have a vision, you must have a mission statement, and We have guidelines for um so you have a visual, excuse me, you have a mission statement and you have values. Then you have guidelines for your values. Guidelines, how do you want your children to learn? How do you want to teach these guidelines? How do you want to teach these values? What guidelines do you have in place for your values? You want your children to learn perseverance. What guidelines do you have in place for your perseverance? Let me give you a typical example. For example, we have in here the following guidelines are created in recognition of the above values. Love for God. Now, on our values as a family, the first item we have here is love for God. Love for God. Let's look at the guidelines for our love for God, the value of our love for God. We read the Bible, we pray daily, we fast periodically, we are guided by the principles in the Bible, we go to church and observe Christian ceremonies. Now, these are the guidelines for our value, which is love for God. So we follow all these things. So when we do our periodic review as a family, we are going to step back and look at the constitution. Have we been reading the Bible frequently? Yes, we have been. Have we been praying daily? Yes, we have been. Have we been fasting periodically? Yes, we have been. Are we guided by the principles in the Bible? So I ask, when we are doing mantras or other things in the house, we ask, we use this question when I'm telling my children um to be able to master them, when I'm teaching them to be able to master their emotions. One of the things I tell them is, in the face of an event, ask yourself, what will Jesus do? In the face of an event, ask yourself, what does God think about this situation? What will Jesus do? What does God think about the situation? Those are the two things I always say they should ask. Those are living according to the principles of the Bible. Those are the practical ways we live according to the principle of the Bible. Then we observe Christian we go to church, yes, we observe Christian ceremonies, that is with Easter, Christmas, and all of that. Okay, let's look at another one. Our family is deeply rooted in empathy. Empathy is another value we have as a family. What are the guidelines? We listen to each other. That is empathy. We try to understand before speaking. You must understand before speaking. That's empathy. We use kind words only. We share, we find solutions to each other's struggles. We never ignore someone in pain. Now, these are our values. Our values as a family, we have different values here, and they are actually here so that any value you have as a parent for your family, or you have as a family generally, you can come here and just pick it and let the guidelines guide you to create yours. Again, all the values in this world can possibly not be your values, especially if you want to achieve, if you really want your children to learn these values. So I'm looking for the word, to habitate them. If you want them to habitate them, that is, get into the habit of these values, you have to you have to focus, set your value goals, and focus on one at a time. So when you're focusing on one, you have guidelines. So whatever your values are, you have guidelines here to help you. So I think I have how many values here in this book? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I actually have 25 different values here. So if you have this amazing material, I tell you, it is a gold mine, it's a lifesaver, it's your family, your entire family puts in one. If you have it in one as a visionary parent member, go and look at it very well and begin to craft your constitution. We are not here to play, and I do hope you are not here playing. If you are not taking action, it means you are playing. Okay, so let's look at that's section. That's that talking about values and all of that. That was section 2. That was section 1 of the Constitution. Section 2 of the Constitution is about responsibilities of parents. So as a parent, you're responsible. Thank you. Someone is giving me love. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ever is. You can also leave a message for me. If you have any questions, do well to ask questions. It's okay, ask questions. And if you are watching this again after now, also ask questions. The section 2 of the Constitution is about responsibilities of parents. Parents have responsibilities, dad and mom responsibilities to the family, so that the children can hold them accountable. They have responsibilities such as parents shall provide the basic needs, and basic needs are defined. Basic needs are defined so that children can understand the difference between needs and wants. Basic needs are defined. Parents shall be number one fan and cheerleader of the children. So these are all here. So your child can use it against you. Daddy, you're supposed to be my number one fan and cheerleader. What are we doing? Why are you not my cheer? Why are you not cheering me on? What is the matter? Your child can boldly ask you such a question because you have a family constitution that has empowered your child to be able to ask you such a question or remind you when you seem not to be doing what you are supposed to do. That is, we have children's responsibility of parents. Then we have responsibility of children. Responsibility of parents in this constitution is a lot. Yes. What number is this? This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 16. Okay, I think this is 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Responsibilities of parents in this document is what? 22. Parents shall prioritize children over work and business. Yes. So when you seem to be forgetting about your children, you're talking about work. Your child can say, "Hey, daddy, our constitution says I come first. I come above your work. I come above your business." So that is section 2. Section 3, we have responsibilities of children. Now, this is the one that parents will smile about. Yes, your child responsibilities spelled out in the family constitution. So your child knows what to do. Children shall obey parents, shall carry out their chores as assigned. A lot, again, just like parents own. Children have 10 responsibilities here. Children shall deliberately commit to the unity and happiness of the family. Then you have responsibility of children to each other. As siblings, what are your responsibilities to each other? You have it here. One of them is children shall correct each other in love. When your sibling is going away from what he or she is supposed to be doing, you shall correct them in love. So we have 6 responsibilities of children, siblings to each other. We also have relating with neighbors, adults around, and friends. We have children in school. Section 6 talk about children in school, what is expected of them, how to act in school. We have children and house chores. Section 7, children and house chores. Then we have when there is a visitor. When there is a visitor, their boundaries, how to act. We have when children's friends visit, how to act. We have mealtime rules. We have TV rules. We have phone and tablets. We have conflict resolution. We have discipline. Yes. We have options of discipline you can use for your children here. How many do we have? I think we have, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 16 different discipline methods you can use for your children. Then we have family traditions. We have rights of everybody. We have privileges. Section 17 talks about privileges. We have house rules. And at the end of the day, we have behaviors and consequences. Now you can see that this document is a whole lot. It's your family constitution, every single thing. Even when you have visitors as a family, even when you have visitors in your family, children should be able to follow your family rules all the time. I remember one time, even it happened recently again, back then in Lagos, I had a friend, they came to visit with their children, and they wanted to watch a particular channel. I didn't a particular channel that my kids were not supposed to watch. because we have TV rules. They don't watch, amongst the TV rules, they don't watch channels that are, don't watch channels or shows that are not their age. So the kids wanted to watch that because they were older. And my kids said, no, it's not allowed, because I prioritize them. I make sure that even if you are 18, you come to the house. I won't say, oh, because you are 18, go and watch an adult movie where my kids are. No, it's their house. They need to be safe and protected in their house. So it is what they are watching, what is appropriate for them, that you will watch. So my kids said no, they were not allowed to watch. The boy insisted and my kids insisted. That's because we have a constitution that has defined that, and it has been consistent. Even recently, we also have visitors in the house and they wanted to watch a particular channel which my kids were not allowed to watch. And my kids also told them, no, we are not allowed to watch this particular channel. It is in our constitution that we do not watch a movie or a show that is not fit for our age. That is it. My oldest child is 12 years. So any show they are watching has to be fit for their age. So that is it. So your family constitution captures all of these things. So it makes it very easy for you to discipline your child. It makes it easy for you to grant your child's request. It makes it easy for you to assign responsibilities. It makes it easy for everyone to just work in cooperation, in harmony. Why? Because everything is spelled out. Now remember, as a family, you come together to create your constitution. That is why you just don't create it and start imposing it on them. No, everyone has an input. Everyone has to say something. Everyone has to make sense. That is how it is easy for them to actually be subject to the constitution. But when it is random, when you don't, it is random when you just, not random, it's not random, is not the word I'm looking for. When you are just the only one that just came, it becomes like a document that is, it becomes military. You are forcing it on them. So in creating your constitution, make sure you carry your family along, your kids along, your spouse along. Now, I know someone will ask me, what if my spouse is not cooperative? What do I do? One of the things you want to do is you can actually write the constitution on behalf of your spouse. Just ask him about what are the things you are complaining about in this house. What are the things you actually want us to like set more specific rules and regulations, even among your spouse. When it comes to communication rules, for example, like this evening, my 7-year-old asked me a question, and instead of me to give him an answer, I asked him like, should you be asking me that? And my daughter said, mommy, that is sarcasm. Remember in our family in communication rules, there are no sarcasms. I remember quickly. So even between you and your spouse, you should also have, not between you and your spouse, in your entire family, you are also subject to the communication rule. You are subject to the communication rules. You as a mom is subject to the communication rules. Your spouse also is subject to the communication rules. Okay, let's go. Then we have consequences. Your consequences are spelled out. They are not rocket science. They are not things that will, they are not abusive. They are not demoralizing, They are just things that will empower your children. Let me give an example. Okay, for example, how many misbehaviors do we have here? I think we have about over 60 misbehaviors, over 50 rather. Okay, 60. We have 60 misbehaviors there that will have the consequences. It has been spelled out already. So it's not something you have to say, okay, let me, because I'm frustrated, I don't know what to do. And the thing, this evening, my older son, 12 years, was going to write his communication rules. He was crying. And coincidentally, my sister-in-law is around. And my sister-in-law was like, he was crying. Yes. Because I tell parents that it is not about yelling or smacking. There are other more effective alternative ways to discipline a child. That's actually more empowering. Let me share one here. We have 60 here. If you're a member of the Visionary Parent Academy, you already have this document. So if you're not using it already, I don't know what you're waiting for. I hope this class helps. It clarifies all your questions. If it doesn't, then you need to come back to the group and ask questions. If you're not a member of the academy, you can join us. Once you join us, this comes with your registration. Registration is still open from now till the till the 6th month of the year. That is when we'll close finally. So we're already in the 3rd month of the year, which means we have only 3 months to join us or not to join us. That is when we close finally. So when you join us, you're going to have this. Not just this, you are going to have a lot of other documents. You are going to create your parenting vision, your family vision. You are going to start by creating your family vision. That is also part of the document you are going to have. You are going to have your family structure. You are going to have a material consequences and misbehaviors. Understand why your child misbehaved. You are going to join a master class on how to master your emotions. You are going to have a lot, really. For what you pay to join the academy, what you gain is a steal. You can just ask your questions here. Hopefully members of the academy who are here, they will answer you. What you get is a steal. What you get is a steal. We hold master classes that are worth more than what you pay for the entire year. You should really try to join us. Oh yes, ma, the class is helpful. Oh, thank you so much, ma. That should be a yes. Thank you so much, ma. It's more than helpful. It's an amazing community. You should just join us. Let me give you an example of I was actually going to take a random one, then I saw this. Expressing anger negatively. Expressing anger negatively. This includes hitting, screaming, pushing, or destroying things, calling mean names. Okay, destroying things, calling mean names, using inappropriate words, and being snappy. These are negative ways of expressing anger. So what do you get what is the consequence for expressing anger this way? Now look at it. You are going to write a 2-page essay on anger management. You are going to write a 2-page essay on anger management. In your essay, include why you were angry and how you would handle a similar situation next time. Now you are going to stay in your room for at least 30 minutes while you are writing the essay. You are also going to read Proverbs 29 verses 2. Read up the page on anger in the book Manners and Poise. Now, what are we doing with this? What are we doing with this consequence? What the child just did was expressing anger negatively. Instead of furthering beating the child, like modeling the negative way of expressing anger, you are empowering the child. By the time they are writing the essay, and they themselves are writing and thinking, because essay requires critical thinking, right? So as they are thinking of what they have done, the negative part of it. If they can think, they can research. So while they are researching, they are learning more about anger management and how to manage their anger next time. And then they're also writing what they are going to do in the face of the situation next time. Problem solving. So this is absolutely empowering, a lot more empowering than smacking or yelling at the child. So we have about 60 here. 60. We also have some upsetting sibling. This include teasing, snatching, going out of their out of bound area. Like I said, this is originally written for my family. So my kids have out of bound areas. So they have their rooms. They're not supposed to enter anybody's room without the parents' permission. They have their wardrobes. You don't have the right to go searching through their wardrobes. They have their diaries. They have their small corners where they put their stuff. So those are out of bound to the public by the public, the other members of the family. So you don't have a right to go and encroach. These are the things that make children bicker. So we are putting a rule to it. Again, look at it. Look at it in the bigger picture. We are teaching them how to respect people's personal space. We're teaching them how to respect boundaries and how to respect themselves. It is the essence of that particular rule, the misbehavior, and the consequence, compared to you just getting angry and smacking your child. Compared to you just getting angry and smacking and yelling. No, you haven't taught anything. because the same smacking and yelling you do over everything. Let's look at it. Okay, they write about it. They write about 20 pages essay on bullying and its effect. Include in your essay how you feel if the same thing was done to you. Fix siblings room and wardrobe, that is the extra consequence. Is teaching them empathy. Put yourself in the person's shoe. If this was done to me, how would I feel? So this your family constitution is really, really helpful for anyone. If countries can come together to create their constitution, then you realize that you should create your constitution. Now, I may not have exhausted everything in this material this evening. If you want it, you can. If you don't want to join the academy, you just want the material, it's okay. You can join. You can get it for just 3,000 naira. For 3,000 naira, you can come and you have it. It's a lot. It's going to be very helpful. It is about how many pages now? It's a lot. Is very helpful. It's not just one of those materials you just take and you regret buying. I tell you, if you buy this material, it is going to be so it's going to transform your parenting. That is the simple truth. I am not just exaggerating. However, you can cover a whole lot of aspects in your constitution. You don't limit it to what I have written. Every family has its own peculiarity. Every family has their own unique the thing that they battle with. So you can create it. What are the things you notice? What are the misbehaviors? What are the triggers, the causes of clash between you and your spouse? Your constitution can cover all of these things. Yes, your constitution can cover all of these things. All you need to do is just to create guidelines. All you need to do is to create consequences for misbehaviors, even between you and your spouse. Yes, in the Visionary Parents Academy, I was telling someone that you can talk to your spouse. If you have a communication rules between you and your spouse, you can also put consequences such that, hey, your spouse, each time they break the communication rule, maybe they pay, maybe they do a chore that they usually don't want to do, maybe you are going to report them to someone who they don't want to ever share their family issue with. That is it. These are consequences that will put your spouse on their toes. So even spouses, even mommies and daddies, they are subject to the constitution, or at least you craft a constitution that kinds of covers everybody. So this is all we are doing. This is all it is this night on family constitution. I hope at the end of the day you are going to craft your constitution. Again, as a visionary parent, you are going to craft your own. Again, you do not have to use my constitution hook, line and sinker. You don't have to swallow it all up because we do not have the same vision. No, we cannot have the same vision. So you have your vision, you have your goals, you create your constitution to meet your vision and your goal. If you're not a member of the Visionary Parent Academy, you need to join us because we have a lot we are doing. Our conversations are very empowering. Our activities are very empowering. Everything we do in the academy is towards your vision as a family. We mean well, really. Okay, we have a masterclass coming up, emotional intelligence, mastering your emotions as a parent. We have it coming up. Imagine members of the academy are not paying a dime for it. Because they're members of the academy, they are not paying extra for it. So, and others are paying as much as 7,500, 10,000, 5,000 naira, and they are not paying for it. So for what you get, and how much are they paying yearly? A yearly fee is 36,000 naira for one person, and for two people it is 48,000 naira. That is a couple. You and your spouse, you want to be in the academy, it's 48,000 naira. Only that, and you get a lot. Oh, we have more comments here. So true, man. The material transforms one's parenting journey. Thank you. Good evening, coach. Well done, ma. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining tonight. I appreciate you. So again, you create your constitution and all of that. So I was saying that you need to join us. You need to join us before we close for the year, because yes, thank you so much, ma. Thank you. The academy is empowering. Thank you so much. You need to join us before you close for the year, because joining us, you know me, you doing us a favor. Is the other way around. If you join us, I know what you stand to gain. You will know what we are talking about. We are not just talking for the sake of talking. And guess what? You can get this free. Yes. Our emotions mastering class, 5,000 naira early bird ends today. So our 7,000 naira class begins tomorrow. 7,500 naira begins tomorrow. And if you want a copy of my family constitution, all you need to do, you can register. You can either join the Visionary Parent Academy and get this material and all other materials, or you just register with 7,500 naira from tomorrow and get this for FREE as a bonus to you. Don't miss this opportunity. So this material, if you know this material, if you know, you know. I don't know. You can see I'm usually a very fast talker, and I have a bit of energy sometimes when I want to talk. But this evening is not just. I'm literally like exhausted from the day's activity, so I'm not talking too much. If you need it, just drop a message, and a whole lot. Thank you so much. Like I always say, and I will say it here again. If you are not taking action, you are wasting your time. You are wasting my precious time. You can see my eyes. I'm feeling so sleepy, like, because I am knackered. I'm feeling sleepy because I am knackered. So you are wasting my time if you are not taking action. The time I would have used to sleep, you have wasted that time if you are not taking action. It's not fair at all. If you make me sit here this night, you not take action, it is highly unfair. It's unforgivable. And if you don't take action, you are not going to get results. There is no way you will know you will get results. If you don't get results, next year you are still going to be running from pillar to post, looking for an academy up and down, looking for, yes, it's good to always be in an academy because it holds you accountable. You are accountable. You know what you are doing. But the struggles you are struggling this year, you are going to carry them till next year again if you don't take action. You are going to keep struggling and keep struggling and keep struggling. How about now? How about? No. You don't have to struggle forever. Take action. See, the good thing about taking action is that when you begin to take action, before you know what is happening, you are into the habits. And as you enter into the habits, your kids are already learning. They can predict you. They know what you can and what you can. They know what is obtainable and what is not obtainable. They also get into the habit. You get into the habit. Everyone gets into the habit, and it becomes easy. All the headache you have goes. All the headache you have will just go because you are taking action. If you don't take action, the children will not stop misbehaving, but they will not stop doing what they are doing. Yes, they will not that they will not stop misbehaving. They will not stop. Okay, sorry, not that they will not stop misbehaving, but their misbehaving will greatly be minimized. It will be checked. It will be controlled. Even when they misbehave, you'll be empowering them with skills. And as they grow naturally, things that are because of age, as they are growing naturally, they are understanding why, and they are doing the right thing because constitution helps lay a foundation for them to act aright. Imagine I was talking about emotional anger. We have a lot. I was talking about how to respond when your child is angry, going by the constitution, going by the constitution. Every time they do that, you refer them. They keep learning, empowering themselves. What is it going to do? It's just like they keep learning the negative part of it. They keep learning how to behave. You are repeating it over and over and over again, and you also remind them. They also go back to the Bible, the book of Proverbs, and also read about anger. What do you think is happening? They are building up on it. You are empowering them compared to you hitting them, telling them, reinforcing that which you do not want them to learn. We have a lot, really. We have converting others' things. This includes crying over others' items, fighting over people's items, or acting jealous over others. We have that. We have slamming doors. This includes slamming the doors for rooms, or slamming the doors for any reason, slamming the door for any reason, or slamming the door for any reason. We are doing things halfway. This includes eating and leaving the plate unpacked, bathing and leaving a towel on the bed, using toothpaste and not covering it, opening pot and not covering it. You know, a lot, 60 misbehaviors, 60, not necessarily misbehaviors, still 60 behaviors they complain about. We have them here. Not properly dressing up. This includes not rubbing cream, not combing hair or wearing an undergarment, not bathing or brushing before bedtime. A lot, a great lot. You may not even need to start with all the constitution. You may need to just pick a few of them, focus on them for the time being. Someone said, you are a blessing to my family. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I know about parenting, all things. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. So you don't even need to pick everything. Just pick some of them and focus on them for the time being. Okay, for the next 1 month, for the next 3 months, I'm going to focus on 1 to 3. You talk to your children about it. By the time they begin to internalize it, it's okay. I'm adding 4, 5, 6 to it. You add 4, 5, 6 to it. Because if you want to look at all the statistics, you want to pay attention to it, you may be overwhelmed. So you can say, okay, we're going to look at 1 to 3 today. For the next 1 month, we are going to look at 1 to 3. Pay attention to 1 to 3. So anytime 1 to 3, they fall short of 1 to 3, refer them to the constitution. In that space of 1 month, you're already used to it. Then you say, okay, 5, 6, 7 is another one we are going to face. At the end of the day, you realize that before you know what is happening, your children are taking shape. They are taking shape because the constitution is effective. Even though they may not stop misbehaving totally, it has to be because of other factors like age, other factors like temperament, other factors like what they cannot control, human factor. Those are the reasons why. But the ones that they will need to put in their effort, you will see how much of their effort they will easily put into it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that if you are a visionary parent, you are taking action. Please take action. If I could kneel now, I will kneel to beg you to take action, because I know that it is in the action you will get results. This is my family constitution. I printed it and we have used it all the way from Lagos. We've been using it since 1914. During the amalgamation of Nigeria, we have been using it, and today we are still using it. But I had to tape it. I just realized it's even already tearing or something. So I need to do something about it. So, and someday I'm going to put this in hard copy and sell. Maybe then you will buy and you will use it. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Coach. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sifon Ekpo. Thank you so much. Everyone in the academy is a coach, really, because I expect you to go out and also teach what you know to others. So if I call you a coach, it is a responsibility for you to go out and teach what you know to others. So thank you, Coach Sifon Ekpo. Let's go back to the group and continue our conversation. Good night, everyone.